truth. Really, that's all we know. Keep it real and authentic. This truth be told. Only the truth. Tune in, cause you gotta watch. It's like you with us while we kick it in the barbershop. Here to motivate and inspire. Hosted by the real deal and the God Barber. I hope that you ready. Keep it funny and edgy. Let's go. You already know. Truth be told. Let's go.
I'm leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Hey, y'all, follow us, man. Follow us, man. We back again. Facebook, YouTube. Again, Facebook, YouTube. And on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, man. Please hit the subscribe button, man. We need more subscribers, man. And I think it's a bell, too, man. That bell going to let you know and going to let everybody know that y'all tuned in with us, man. So y'all keep this thing going with us, man. Let's do this, man, because I'm leaving on that midnight train to Georgia.
Dang, Green, that sounds pretty good, big dog.
Yeah.
Talk about pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, man, listen, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that hat you got on, big dog. That look pretty good, too. Huh?
Y'all see it?
The hat, you know,
Y'all
this
see it,
T-shirt, man. Listen, man.
Y'all see it?
Yo, truth be told, peeps, man. Man, listen.
Well, we ready.
We ready.
We ready.
Matter of fact, we so ready, man. I want you guys, man. Are you? I want to ask them. Are you ready to take your printing game to the next level?
Boy,
you know what I'm saying? That printing game by Print Fanatics, your ultimate printing partner, man. They want to partner up with you guys, man. They partner up with us. They want to partner with you guys, man. At Print Fanatics, they make your printing dreams. That's what they say, Green. Come true. Whether it's business cards, banners, cars, banners, custom design, they could darn near print a car. I don't know. They got a lot of things going on, but I just know they got you covered, though. You know, somebody, hey, just say goodbye to all those par printing companies, man. Y'all come on and get with our boys at Print Fanatics. Let them become your printing partner for everything you got going on. Matter of fact, man, I'm thinking about not only my T-shirt, Green.
What's up?
I might get Print Fanatics printed right across my forehead, dog.
Ooh, tattoo?
No, just print it. Hey, man, we out of here, man. Hey, get to the interview. Hey, Green, man, this is episode 2, man, of season 8, man. I'm so ready to go, man. I'm so excited. Hey, I'm your host, Real Deal. I guess that's what they call me. And my co-host, my big boy, my big bro, T Green. I call him Terry sometimes, but Terry Green, the God Barber. God Barber, what's going on, baby? How you doing,
real,
baby?
Man. My name ain't Terry, man.
I thought it was Terry.
My name T Green.
What your mama call you?
My mama called me Terry.
Well, that's what I'm gonna call you.
But
T.
the podcast called me T Green, the God Barber.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but
sir.
I be Terry, man. I'm just joking, man.
Yeah.
I be Terry, man. That's my name, man. So I'm chilling. I'm good, man. Hey, Real, you say you gonna put the Fanatics across your forehead? Like a tattoo, like?
No tattoo. I don't get tattoos.
Oh.
I print it.
You want like a headband? That'd be good to get a headband, though.
Yeah, I get it printed.
Man, we need to get some Truth Be Told headbands, though, boy.
No, what we need to do is get a Truth Be Told shop.
Yeah.
So not only can, I wear this good stuff,
you
wear this good stuff, but, somebody out there may want this Truth Be Told apparel.
But you all right, Real. We need to get that jumping off right now.
Hey, man, listen, we keep talking about different sources and revenues of money-making type deals. We got the perfect guest in the building today, Green.
Man, I can't wait, boy. I can't wait. I can't wait.
We got the perfect guest. Green, can I introduce him, bro?
Go ahead.
All right, listen, TBT.
Uh-oh. I got to hear this.
Listen, TBT. We got my homeboy, man. I'm so excited because, man, listen. In 1995, man, I took my talent to the University of Florida. You know what I'm saying? I was little LeBron, you know what I'm saying? I took my talent to Gainesville, Florida, man. When I got there, man, in the DB room.
Okay.
I had a couple people in that DB room, that I still keep in contact with.
All right.
But one in particular here tonight, man. My homeboy, man.
Hey, Real, was y'all dormitories in the stadium back then?
Yeah, we started off there.
In the stadium.
Yeah, man. It went down there, boy.
Being Hill Griffin Stadium?
Yeah, they call it Young Hall.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The best thing they could do is get us out that stadium. That's the best thing you can do, boy. Listen, man, all athletes, nothing but athletes.
Ooh.
But anyways, Green, let's get to it, man. Hey, I got my homeboy, man, former football Gator. All right, entrepreneur. Also, you know, when I talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about different lanes of being an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Real estate developer, owner of MDH Investment Group. You know, he got some. He owned all kind of different games, not just football game. We got the auto dealership game.
Yeah.
We got the Airbnb game.
That's true.
We got the. Oh, my bad. We got the dumpster game.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm
too.
saying? We got the income tax game.
Good.
Listen, man,
Yeah.
I can keep going, man. I can keep going.
That's
But listen, man. Nevertheless, the one and only, y'all welcome Mike Harris.
Big Mike, baby.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
Man.
Mike,
Welcome,
what's up, baby?
What's up, man? It's an honor to be down here, chopping it up with y'all. It's almost like we're at Showtime almost, but you know, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. So I'm here to answer questions, you know, to tell my testimony about what I have done in my life since football. And you know, we're gonna just chop it up, man, have fun, have a great conversation.
That's what we plan to do,
Man, that's
man.
what we
Yeah.
in the backyard, man.
That's what we plan to do. But before we always got to kind of let our guests know. Well, not our guests, but our audience know a little bit about you, right? So where you from, Mike?
Man, I'm actually from Gainesville, Florida. You know, I'm what they call, you know how Boys in the Hood had the hood. So I'm actually from the hood in Gainesville. It was a smaller city, of course, not a big city. But most of us not from bigger cities, but we all live in, of course, minority-based communities. So, you know, of course, my parents, they worked 9-to-5 jobs like most of our previous generations before us. And then, you know, I was blessed to go to the University of Florida and play football. And I think football was is beneficial because I can see how the concepts of football goes into the real world also.
Right.
So with having that platform of football, I think football is a foundation for the business because I can see how the parallels are always there, you know?
Right.
So that's the good thing about it. But, you know, I do multiple things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been 2004, I done own property since 04. I didn't, you know, my first job outside of from the university, once I graduated, is kind of crazy. We had a debris cleaning business. So we were removing debris from houses. And that was my first tad bit of entrepreneur, and then I've been an entrepreneur ever since then. And then we went to home inspections, and then I went to buying houses, and then I had some failures too. I had a clothing store, failed. Of course, I had an auto broker dealer's license. It was a success. And then, you know, we had a tax business, and then, you know, we started developing properties, flipping properties. And now all of a sudden it's full circle with what all we do with the dumpsters. We rent dumpsters instead of renting houses mostly. It's kind of different streams of revenue that, you know, that minorities need to kind of tap into, or just anybody in general, to be honest with you, because, you know, it's about information. This is an information era. But needless to say, that's a little bit of background on myself. You know, I'll let you guys kind of, you know, intertwine and get into the engagement of the conversation of what we want to get into. But, you know, that's where I'm at. That's an introduction for me. But I'm here. Let's go.
Well,
Mike, baby.
well, Mike, the thing is, you know, I want to go just a little bit back, right? Because you mentioned that you from Gainesville.
Yeah.
And it's a small town. And you attended University of Florida. Mike was a free safety.
Yeah.
So he was a free safety. Where, you know, when I came in, I was a free safety as well.
Yeah.
Mike was somebody that, you know, I looked up to as far as what he had going on the football field, being able just to learn from him and some of the other guys. So it was always good to be around him. And then, like he's kind of said, full circle, years later, we're still in contact with each other, right?
That's good.
Yeah.
But Mike, how was your experience? I want to kind of go a little bit to the University of Florida before we get into that, right? Because you said sometimes some of the things you learned in the game of football were kind of parallel to what you're doing now, right? So that experience, right? You played under Coach Spurrier.
Yeah.
right?
That was a handful in itself.
Yeah.
Spurrier,
So
baby.
you play under Coach Spurrier. I always get people always like, well, how was it playing for Coach Spurrier? How was that experience playing for Coach Spurrier?
Playing for Coach Spurrier was actually a good experience, man. He just wanted perfection, you know what I'm saying? And every route we ran, every DB, he just wanted perfection. And in football, I always, like my kids, I used to always pick out all the wrong things. Because in football, you know, in the meetings, they don't pick out nothing right. Everything they pick out is wrong. The right plays get, you know, looked over.
Yeah.
You know, everything they're looking for is your imperfection. So with that being said, how it kind of parallels to me is in business, nobody's looking at what you've done right. They're looking at your corrections, what you can correct to be great. So if you can correct your errors, it makes you become better as a business person, because now your errors, like in football, they bringing down your errors. You know what I'm saying? That's why you get graded. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, it's just like a business. You get graded just like it is, like you in grade school, like in elementary. Either you desire to be an A student or F student. The A student gonna give it 100%. Of course, we still give it. You know, we still have 100%. But needless to say, you know, the grading scales are 800 to 50 is a F. So we know when you playing football, you got to understand, like, we getting graded every time you touch the ball, every time you touch the football field. So it's a parallel between like football and just business in itself. But the University of Florida, what it did is it molded me per se, in knowing that it's the structure that they put towards the game of football. Like when you're in high school, you don't have that structure. But once you get there, as you know, real deal, you got training at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. You have shower. You need to go eat. And then you have class, and then you have meetings, and then you have meetings again, and then you have practice, and then after that you have study hall. So it's extreme structure to its highest level. So if you parlay that into business, and you can structure your life like that, you know, it's keep it simple, but it's keep it simple with a schedule how they do things. So that always intrigued me on that level. But you know, as far as the meetings, it's just like in business also. It's like you as a barber, you as a teacher, you practice so much that the game was easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in business, you have to go through, like, I'm gonna go through several cuts before I perfect it. Now, once I perfect it, you know, it's good. But it's just the practice that you have to go through when we was at the University of Florida that made it kind of interesting when I'm looking at, like, man, this is, when you look back at it, like, dang, we used to practice so much that the game was easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that parallels to real life.
And then also, Mike and Green, man, you think about the stigma of being just a dumb jock, right? We've heard that. You're just a jock, right? And then, you know, that's all that we can do is play football, right? Or play some type of sport. We can't think outside the box. We can't come up with some type of business plan and then actually strategically work through that.
Yeah.
Typically, that's what they say. The dumb jock, right?
They want football players to shut up and run the ball or catch the ball.
Yeah.
Or they want basketball players to shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I'm tell you real, this is what I like about what we do, our podcast, especially here in Manatee County. To let these kids know, little league kids, high school kids that are playing football, and to let them know everybody's not going
Yeah. Everybody don't make it.
to the NFL.
Right.
Like I keep saying, or the NBA,
Yeah.
or
that's
Major
true.
League Baseball. But bringing Mike here, we're gonna sit down and talk. Mike gonna let these kids know it's a lot of stuff out there that you can get involved with
Right.
Yeah.
if football don't work. And it's okay if football don't work.
Right.
That
It's
is-
okay.
Right.
There's other avenues out there, man. Other avenues, man.
Right.
Nigga, Mike, He done played at University of Florida. But before you went to University of Florida, what high school you went to, man?
I went to Buchholz High School.
Bro, what position you played?
I actually played outside linebacker.
Outside
but,
linebacker.
They change you. They can change your position at Florida in any way. But so we actually won a state championship in Buchholz.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting, and then we won some track state championships also. So I mean, it's just and then we won the University of Florida. So that was good also. So I mean.
So Florida was the only school that recruited you? You had more recruits?
No.
Was you 5, 4-star, 3-star?
Man, back
were they
then,
doing it back then? Were they doing
nah,
that?
they weren't doing it. They were doing that.
What, you All-State?
Usually either a blue chipper
Yeah.
or non-blue chipper.
Back in the days, yeah.
So, but back in the days, of course, I was All-State. I played the Florida-Georgia game. I played, we was top, it was top tier back then. I mean, we had pretty good. I mean, I was an all-star. I mean, you don't make it to the University of Florida, you don't make it to the University of Florida without having other people recruiting me.
I'm trying to tell you now, back in them days, boy, you gotta be somebody.
Yeah. So I had Miami, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. I had several. We only had 5 visits, so you had to be very particular.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Hawaii, but they know I wasn't coming there.
Yeah.
So but I was just taking a fundamental trip just for myself.
You saying you wanted to go though?
Yeah, I wanted to go.
I'm talking about you wanted to go play there?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to go.
You just want to go?
Yeah,
wanted to go, baby.
Go Gainesville, boy. Gainesville to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Sign me up, coach.
Sign me up, coach. I want to go. But that was interesting. So
yeah.
But it was recruited. You recruited by one, you recruited by all. Like Florida State, Georgia Tech. I mean, everywhere in the South will recruit you. So that's how it was back in the day. So
that was good. Hey, that was good. You went to University of Florida. You right there from Gainesville. A lot of times they don't do that. Cats we want to leave their hometown.
Yeah, you know what? I was always intrigued with Miami, but it's coming to recruits. But when they start recruiting you, man, it's whoever that has the best sales pitch, and that's another thing they teach you. That they can sell you on anything there at the University of Florida, any university, and when you get there, that sales pitch ain't the same.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because they can tell you only have, hey, man, we only got 2 safeties. Don't worry about this right here. And you get there and there's 6 safeties. They're like, God dang.
Yeah.
Dang, coach, you lied to me. But, you got to get to make, you got to fend them off.
You
we got to grind. But, it teaches you to grind, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
nothing comes easy.
Just being in college in general teaches you so much, and it really does prepare you a good bit for just the real world. It's all fun and games. You still not living the life of being, the real world, but it does teaches you through all those experiences and dealing with the coaches, dealing with your teammates, dealing with just people, your professors, to the people that you're around and hang out with, going to the clubs. All that stuff can teach you.
Of course.
Because we make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Young.
Because we're young.
Yeah.
So Mike, here's the deal. We graduate University of Florida. Did you have an opportunity to play on the next level?
I did not play at the next level. You know what I'm saying? And I think that might have been probably the best thing for me business-wise.
Yeah.
Because it just, once it's cut off, You got to cut the cord and keep moving. Like, I ain't have the opportunity. Like, they have so many leads now that, cats keep on trying to make it. But, back then, it was just the NFL. If you didn't make it to the NFL, you had to use it was CFL, but, once you cut the cord, you got to go out in the real world and make it. So that was a most beneficial thing. But, I mean, again, all kudos to the University of Florida. They once you obtain your degree, it is a strong degree, that we obtained while we were there. So, needless to say, I think that was probably the better thing for me. Now, I didn't make it, but my kids made it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I had a kid that played 5 years in the NFL already. So, so some of the stuff that they taught me is kind of went down to him, and I might have not made it, but he did.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the deal. At some point you was faced with, okay, what's next? right?
Yeah, what's next? Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah.
Quickly. And I heard you say something about you start getting into debris business.
Yeah.
And cleaning up and whatever. Was that something that you started? Was that something that you got involved with a family member? How did that happen?
Man, that involved. I had an agent, and the agent had somebody that was actually having a contract with another. He had a contract with another vendor, and I think it was Housing and Urban Development. And when they had that contract with them, they needed somebody as a minority status. So of course, me being as pigmented as I am, they came to me with a pitch, and then I just had to put the effort and the work behind it. So they came to me with a pitch, and of course I utilized my minority status at that point, and we went to work.
So Mike, here's the deal.
Was it debris, huh?
Well, here's the thing, because I hear what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
But after that pitch, right, now the rubber got to hit the road.
Oh, of course.
Right? So it's not just, okay, we just go pick up the debris. It's a little bit more than that, right?
Of course. It was a housing not housing and urban development, FHA loans, all their foreclosures.
Okay.
And then that was before 2008, so that was in 1998. Man, foreclosures was it was, a dime a dozen. Y'all have a bunch of foreclosures. Even this was the before 2008 was the bad crash. This was the crash before the bad crash.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't remember that. So I've been in real estate just that long.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the crash in 98, 97, 98. And I remember the crash in 2008. And right now it's been kind of steady.
Okay. So so you went from doing the debris business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you going into what? What was next?
Man, home inspections.
Home inspections.
Home inspections. So we did home inspections after we did the debris business.
Was that your company? Did you?
That was my company. And again, utilizing the minority status at that point. It was my company, and then we did phenomenal with that, because we did Dallas, Texas, all over Georgia, Tennessee, and all over the state of Florida.
Wow.
So, Mike, what was your degree in coming out of Florida?
Man, you know what?
I know you had no degree in debris. I
No.
didn't know what degree is.
You know what?
Debris and all that.
I will sit here and tell people.
I might have missed it. I ain't
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
man
yeah.
say he graduated
You know what?
or nothing, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. They put you in this. They structure your schedule, of course, but my schedule wasn't structured for me, so I structured my own schedule. Yeah. So I actually was in resource economics, and I actually had dual major, resource economics. That's something, brother. Okay. I had resource economics and I had business administration.
Okay.
So I actually had two degrees when I left the University of Florida.
Okay.
So it was interesting.
Okay, now that makes sense, man.
Yeah. I was actually, they was training me to do business, but at the same time, I was, it was a good thing. I think it was. I actually like that. I should have just probably did my master's program.
Yeah.
On my last year or so, but unfortunately, I didn't do the master's because I was like, man, I don't want to take no more classes because at a certain point, it's the classes get harder and harder.
Right.
But that's one thing about college, though, man. Not only, I know y'all went there to play football and all that, but when you go to college, you meet a lot of different people from different places, different states, a lot of different conversations.
Yeah.
You might go there with one degree on your mind, but by the time you talk to other people on campus, other students, you end up doing something else. So college do shape you up now for life if you utilize it right.
Yeah, most definitely.
Utilize it right, man. But it be hard, man. I mean, it's good to hear that Mike doing all these things, because a lot of times when you go play college ball, man, that's all you focus on.
Of course.
It's ball. It's like
football.
you're in a tunnel, man. You don't see nothing else but that football.
They don't really let you see nothing else.
Yeah, they keep you right there, man. And it's good to see that ball players can get outside that tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and try to get integrated in other things.
Right.
So that's good.
Well, here's the thing. Because this is kind of what I'm trying to get at. Because even from there, it's not like Mike has stayed stagnant in one area. In a sense, we like, in the hood, we like to say, boy, hey, what hustle you got?
Boy.
Right? What hustle you got, right?
Mike a hustler, boy. Mike from Gainesville, boy, the gut.
Yeah, he from the gut. You know what I'm saying?
The gut, boy.
But here's the thing. Debris, home inspections, income tax.
Yeah, income taxes.
Auto dealership.
Auto dealership, broker, yeah.
Actually,
dumpsters.
Mike, a good thing about that is I went to you for my car.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
And then I do your taxes.
Mike drove my car to me. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
What?
Yeah, that's
get
true.
this, you know what I'm saying?
That is true. That's true.
Get this.
Delivery on the van.
You know what I'm saying? But what I guess what I'm trying to say, man, is a lot of people get on one job or whatever, a job, right? A job, and we work that job, and we work it, and we working it for somebody else, right? And we getting underpaid a lot, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that I like about what you're doing, Mike, is, and what I want other people to see is that, if you have that grind, if you have that want, that thing about you that said, look, I'm going, I got a goal, something that I want to achieve. You mentioned to me before, look, man, I want to make $1 million, $5 million before blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
right? That's
true.
where you want to be at. The thing about Mike that I love is that Mike gonna get there, right? He's gonna get there. Now, I don't know how many people that is in investments or development, real estate development. But Mike, I want to talk a little bit about your development, right?
Okay.
And what you got going with that right now.
Well, again, where we come from, it's lack of information. You know what I'm saying? So my course of real estate has been home rentals. I did home inspections. I did the debris removal. I've did pretty much anything outside the realm of being a licensed electrician, plumber, anything that. But all the other stuff I've done. So I'm very familiar with real estate in this whole, in this process. But, I would, TV is a gift and a curse. Because the gift is sometimes you're getting information. So I kind of utilize information off of looking at real estate shows. Then I would look at the realtor and see how much they would make. But they never mention how much the developer make and the realtors actually make working for the developer. So if the realtor is getting their 6%, which may be it's 3% on each side probably, and they sell $1 million house, they get $60,000. So the developer, I'm looking at the developer, if they get $60,000 and the developer getting around about $300,000 or $400,000, and they do that 3 or 4 times a year, the developer then made $1 million. And not to say that the realtor hadn't made no money, because they can make $180,000. But you do that 3 transactions in a year. If you do big transactions, that's $1 million a year. 4 transactions, could be 1 point, But it goes up. It goes up depending on what type of development you have. Now, of course, spec homes are different than bigger homes. But needless to say, either way, I got into development because I've been through pretty much the processes, and then I done looked at, I kind of, the good thing about education is it kind of teaches you how to analyze and create the opportunities. So it took me a couple years to kind of learn the development side, because it's certain steps that you just don't know about. And of course, having the capital to make errors, because you're going to make errors initially until you create a system. And then once you create the system, then it's all down here from there, because it's just now all of a sudden creating that system. And it took me 2.5, 3 years to create a system for the development. But in that process of creating that system, I was looking at all my deficiencies. So, and that comes back to football. Remember I said they always grade us on everything we did bad. So me looking at all the deficiencies of what it would take for me to correct this error. Like, I bought a Bobcat, never drove a Bobcat in my life. But so I bought a Bobcat, bought some dumpsters, stuff that kind of the stuff that I could do without even having to even think about it. The Bobcat, just moving dirt around, could make $500, or even I rented it out, could make $500. Like everybody don't look at. See, I think when we in the minorities, we minorities, so we don't get information like everybody else, or we not even filter down information like everybody else. So the biggest thing for me is being able to filter it down to my people or anybody in my circle that I can filter it down. Like when Reggie came to see me, there's a lot of stuff that he wasn't privy to, but now all of a sudden I can open his brain up because guess what? Now I got information. Right. So the key is really about having the information because I think my brother's in trucking. You know what I'm saying? Just like I would tell him. I told him, I say, hey, your son won't take a $100,000 loss now because guess what? You can filter that information down to him. Right. So it's being able to filter the information down to do what we need to do. But in the developing itself, I mean, it's they make all the money. You got to think like D.H. Horton makes $6.7 billion a year, $100 billion a year sometimes. So. I mean, the developers make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about millions. I'm talking billions. So, if I can just get a percentage and get to the millions, I'm okay.
That's good, though, man.
So, Mike, you
by him passing that, get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about.
You know what I'm saying? Because when black folks in the inner city, all we ever hear is relative. Be a relative. Be a relative. But I don't ever hear nobody say be a developer.
Yeah.
It's always real estate. I'm going to real estate school, but I'm pretty sure you got to do relative first, don't you?
Yeah. No, you don't have to do real estate school. Like I always told you, I started with debris first. You know what I'm saying? So I started with debris and I started doing inspections. You know what I'm saying? But and then I started renting houses, and then once I started renting houses, it went from renting houses to saying, well, man, what's my next move? I didn't rent houses. I know what the profit margins are. The profit margins are not as lucrative as I'm renting single family homes. It's not as lucrative. So, so if I'm renting a house and I'm making $4,000 to $8,000 a year on a rental, and then I develop one house and make $100,000, what numbers are better?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Mike, it's about the numbers for you.
You
can clearly see the numbers.
Yeah, it's just numbers.
So once you see those numbers, so I want to talk about numbers, and I love the numbers. But for a person like myself, somebody that's out there watching, right? And you were saying, I end up renting some properties. But how did you acquire those properties? Did you get a loan? Did you get some money behind you? I mean, everybody don't have it where the money just sitting there.
No,
right?
no.
So
I come from. I come from nothing, man. So you know how that.
Yep.
I mean, when they your last football game is your last opportunity. They ain't give you no money after that last football game.
Right.
I mean, look, it's different now. You know what I'm saying with the NIL, so they getting paid now. Right. But back in our days, nobody was getting paid at all. Right. So, it was a different era. It's different eras. Like now, back then, I could buy a property and have escrow. You know what I'm saying? We all old enough to know we have escrow then. Nowadays, you got to buy it. You'll buy it from somebody, and then what you'll do is you'll come back and refinance it. You'll probably go hard money nowadays and then refinance it. But even with saying that, you're still looking at interest. You got the loan payment. You got insurance. You have a multitude of things. You got taxes. You have a multitude of things, so the profit margin gets shrunk. So if I got $2,500 on rent, and then all of a sudden my mortgage payment is $1,500, and I still got taxes, now I'm only making $500 a month. If I'm making $500 a month times 12, that's only $6,000 or something, $6,000 something, whatever dollars. But I'm looking at development, so I'm looking at if I $6,000 here, if I do 2 properties, then develop 2 properties and make $100,000 pop. That's $200,000 compared to making $6,800 or whatever that is. So it's just a different mind frame and changing our mind frame of just understanding like, man, I can make $200,000-$300,000 instead of $6,000 on a rental. Yeah. So that's it is numbers, but the numbers is bigger. You know what I'm saying?
So,
they're not.
So when you say the numbers, right? I'm pretty sure if we had an option, 6,000 compared to 200,000, everybody gonna go 200.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Two, baby.
Right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and in simple terms, that makes sense for all of us, right?
Yeah.
But here's the deal. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. But from the majority of us that
Yeah.
don't have that example, right? So, mentorship. You have a mentor? Was it somebody that showed you the ranks
Man.
of how to get this done?
Honestly, I've been out here for a long time. So, is somebody showing me? No, I took a lot of financial risk myself with my own thing to kind of, because it's like he said, big. What's his name just said, hey. All we hear about is the realtor.
That's all we
Yeah.
hear.
I'm going to real estate school. I'm
Yeah.
going to become a realtor.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
So that's all we know. It's triggered in our mind that the
Yeah.
realtor making all the money, but the true money is made with the developer.
Developer.
But so it's some risk that you take, like the dumpsters. Like I did trash back in '98. It's kind of full circle now, because now all of a sudden I say, okay, let me get the dumpsters. The dumpsters, I need them on the job sites. So now all of a sudden it's trash again. That we know that sanitation is one of the biggest industries, $1 billion industry. Sanitation. How many minorities are in it?
There you go.
Now, how many minorities that own trash cans, and how many minorities are here to say, okay, man, we're in sanitation.
Yeah.
You know who was in sanitation? You remember the Sopranos?
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing with sanitation,
Yeah,
but
man.
nobody really knew that. Like,
Yeah.
so we ain't even looking like, hey, well, why we own a sanitation company? You know what I'm saying? We can pick up the trash like anybody else. You know, of course you have to pay for it. We pay for it every month through garbage and everything else. So just looking at little things like that kind of is over our head because we don't have information.
Because all we seeing our uncles and dad and brothers do
It was working
is
on the garbage, work on the garbage
truck,
can.
on the bike.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
why don't we own the garbage truck?
See, we don't think
See,
that
that's
far.
but that's a flip, though. That's a flip. That's interesting. Go ahead.
The reason we don't think that far because we don't see nobody of our color owning that.
That's true.
So all we see is people of our color working it.
Yeah.
So we're not going to even think about owning.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like football. We just see black folks run the ball, catch the ball, tackle.
Yeah.
But we don't see us owning a football team.
That's
So
true.
we don't even think about owning. Man,
Yeah.
I want to go to the NFL, man. I want to catch that ball. I want to run that ball.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't hear nobody say, hey, man, I want to own a team.
Right.
Because we feel like that's not possible.
Right.
Because we don't see nobody doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I say it's good to hear Mike, you know, from Gainesville. I ain't from Gainesville, but we from the hood.
Yeah.
Most of all hoods the same.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to be fried chicken, collard greens, macaroni and cheese. Everybody cook it the same way.
It's same all over the place.
Same way.
Yeah.
And he went to University of Florida to play football, but Mike knew, hey, man, this football ain't going no further than this last game at the Gator. I got to figure out stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And he took chances.
Right.
But we don't even take chances like that.
Right.
Nah.
Before we take a chance, because take chances take patience.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't have patience. A lot of us going to go straight to the streets, try to deal. Man, I want that money right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike had patience, man, you
Yeah.
know. And it's
Mike.
paying off.
Mike, what is dirt gold?
Huh?
What is dirt gold?
Dirt gold. Oh man, dirt gold is needless to say when you clear the trees off of there and then you put your pad up, the pad is always gold. So I call it dirt gold because you're going to get you're going to get miles of dirt to create a pad to put a house on. So that dirt gold is the gold dirt that they gonna put on a pad to put a house on. So when I put the house on there, it's gold. It's called money. That's how you create money. It's revenue streams. It's money. So I call it dirt gold.
Ooh, that's big.
Hey, Mike.
But dirt gold,
Hey,
baby.
Mike, I got. Hey, you know, one thing, man. Mike, Mike mentioned that he allowed me to come up and kind of be a tag along. You know, they got the tag along police. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, Mike allowed me to tag with him as he went out to inspect some of his property. Great experience. I saw some of that dirt gold. right?
Yeah, you did see
The
dirt
dirt
go.
road,
Dirt
what?
Now the thing is,
It was
Mike,
shiny? The dirt was shiny?
Oh man, listen, I saw the dirt go. Then he took me to another property where that foundation that he talked about
Yeah.
had a structure on it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
so this real deal stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I ain't talking about me. I'm talking the real deal property developer type stuff, right?
Yeah, it's true.
But Mike, here's the thing. It's the power in acquiring land.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and tell you this right here. I always tell this to. We gotta open our eyes to a lot of things differently, and when I say that is a lot of minorities own a lot of land, and what happens is we sell it at the lowest point to sell price point. And when I say that is, if I have a parcel of land and I sell it to you for $8,000 and I got it for $4,000, I only made $2,000. Now you take my philosophy and say, all right, I got the land for $6,000. I'm gonna put a structure on it for $180,000 and maybe $200,000 and sell it to you for $420 or $350. Who made the most money? So it becomes a numbers game, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we have the resources. We have the acquisition of the property. We just don't know how to, like, how you want to get the most fruit, how you want to get the most juice out of the fruit. You use a juicer, right? So we don't get the most juice out of what we was selling, like, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just getting the most juice out of what we have. So to get the most out of anything, you got to sell it at its highest price point.
So what's the what's the ins and out of rental property? Like say I got a house, I just want to rent out.
Man, the ins out of rental properties is it's just a lot of aggravation. Not to say that it's not a good income. A lot of people rent. I mean, they got the burr and all this other stuff. I mean, the ins out of rental properties, you just have to know how to rent. You got to be extremely ruthless in your rent collection. It's really a collections company. Like, you know how they have collection company. When I rent a house, I'm collecting rent every month. So I'm becoming a collector. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to maintenance that collection, because at the end of the day, people, you living in a house, it's like, you know, something going to happen. You know what I'm saying? All these stuff that's in the house. I build a house, so everything's going to be made up with something that was created by man.
Yeah.
Like the AC is created by man, so they're going to have something that's going to break down on it. They don't make no money if the AC don't break down. The refrigerator, the refrigerator company, they make money when they sell, but they make more money even when they repairs. So something is going to break down. So you really just becoming a collection company. And, you know, I played collection for a long. I still have rental properties.
Yeah.
I do it a little differently now. I like short-term rentals instead of long-term. But I mean, it's hindering our communities pretty bad, because the rent rates are stupidly high, and you know, affordability is going out of the roof.
So do you rent to family? Do you have an issue with that?
Oh, I don't rent to no family. I don't even do business with family. Well, I do business with my brothers, but you know, outside of that.
But see, some people say, "Man, Mike, you dead wrong, man.
Am
Why
I
you
wrong?
don't do that for your family, man?"
Because the family be the first one that don't want to pay you rent.
There you go.
But you know, I'm not just saying that I wouldn't deal with my family, but you know, outside my brothers are probably, you know what I'm saying, family don't want to deal with you.
Boy,
Right.
boy, you already know, right? You know, really, that family be like, hey, Mike, man, hey, cuz,
Right.
hey, aunt,
Right.
man, I ain't got it this month, aunt.
Right.
Yeah,
I double up next month.
yeah, you still got that house note to pay.
Yeah.
They
next
forget
month
about
come, they still ain't got it.
Yeah.
That's family.
That's family, boy. That's family.
But you know, not enough family. You know, family is good. Let me kind of correct that a little bit. But I mean, business is business. You just got to keep it business. That's why you can take it outside of take the 10%. Now you're reducing more money. Take 10% out of your pocket. You let somebody else handle all the knick-knack work for you. Especially if you're in a position like myself. Like right now, I'm starting to get people to manage the properties for me, because I mean, it's become more of a burden for me to be hassled. You know what I'm saying? Than having somebody on, and then they can deal with the rent. Like they can deal with the eviction. I don't have no control over it.
Yeah.
Even if it's family, I have no control over it. But talk to my property manager.
Right.
You know.
So Mike, so the end game for you, right? And developer, right? I had a conversation with you, and you had a set plan, a goal that you were trying to achieve. Especially when you talk about acquiring land. You mentioned about having, five lots this year, 8 lots next year, whatever the case may be. What's your end game with developing?
Man, my end game is truly, man, it's no end game. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ever see, you walk on a work site and you see an old white guy with a whole bunch of grays in his head and he's still out there working? I ain't really doing no hard work myself. So what happens is, for me, is there's no end game, because like, who wants to just, everybody's to do, you sit and retire and then you don't do nothing. Like the thing is to keep on being able to take it to the next level. So my next level is, like, my goal next year is to do 24 houses. All right, my goal the year after that is to do 36 to 40 houses. The year after that is to do 50 houses, until I can get to a point where, all right, I'm doing 100 houses a year. I can do 10 million in profits. Profits. I ain't talking not gross, just profit. So ideally, that's my goal. Like, okay, if I can do 10 million a year, or whatever, 10 to 15 million a year, just developing, hey, that's where I need to be at. Like, that's my end game. Like, that's the end. That I want to say, okay, we did 10 million in gross this year. Well, not gross. We did 100 million in gross, 10 million in net revenue. So if I can get to my net revenue at like close to 10 million a year, I'm okay. Then I feel like I didn't achieve what I ultimately can do.
So how's it, outside of your developing, you also have started a investment group, and with your investment group, you allow people to come in and invest in what you have going on, right?
Yeah.
I know as we rolled back from one of your properties, you talked about, you've gotten to a point where you took a lot of risk and you experienced a lot of things. You had some losses. No, I wouldn't say losses. You didn't describe it as loss. You described it more so as, I took some hits, but I broke even, right? But you took all those risks, and you've done all those things to the point where now, if someone wants to invest with you and your group, and they're looking for a profit back, it's a good chance that they're going to get that at the end of the day, because you know what to do. You know what to not do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if someone's coming to invest in what you have going on, is it okay to say that their money's good with you?
Yeah, most definitely at this point. You know what I'm saying? I took a lot. It's trials and tribulations, and I didn't take no losses. It just took a little longer to get the investment back. So, but I took. It's just like learning processes. It's just like football. You open your hips. You got to make sure you open your hips. The wide receiver going this way, I want to open my hips that way. So it was a learning process, but I created a system now. So now my energy is towards my system, and knowing that, hey, it took me 2 or 3 years to kind of gravitate and get all the people that I needed to be successful in my process. So when you want to invest, no problem. What I do is I tell people at this point, the market rate 10-12% on a that's a high yield or rate of return. So if you want a high yield, 10 to 12% is a high yield, regardless of whatever we say. The market don't give you 10 to 12%. It could give you more, or you could lose it all. My thing is, we're not gonna lose no money. I'm gonna still get your money back, 10, 12%, and if you do that twice a year, just like I was telling you. So if it's all about planning. Developing is about more planning than anything else. You have to plan to be successful. So now my plan is I have my stuff in permitting before I even touch anybody's money. Because what happens is once you get out of permitting, now all of a sudden we running with the money that they give us once we get to the pad. Once we get to the pad, I know I got 4 months out. I give myself 6 months to 8 months for the return on ROI. So now all of a sudden, if you do that twice a year, even at 10%, now you have a 20% return on money. So for anybody, you know what I'm saying, not to say that we want to seek out the investors at this point, but anybody that want like 10%, 12%, you know, on a secure investment, that's what we do. So, I mean, you know, but my IG is MDH Investors. You know what I'm saying? I have a course on August the 4th through the 5th. If you want to get into the real estate game, you want to learn how to invest, you know what I'm saying, just come hear me out. You know what I'm saying? It's going to cost you a little bit of money because you got to spend money to make money.
It might say going to cost a little bit of money.
Well, here's the thing, because it's some valuable information, but also, you know, Green, you know, sometimes when, well, not even sometimes, a lot of times, people like to play it safe, right? And they want to put their money in savings, or put their money in some type of other investment along that line. And Mike, I know I saw you have an interview with another guy on one of your IG lives, and he was talking about, you know, people got to realize that you putting your money over there, you sitting it over there, it's just sitting there, right?
Yeah, just sitting there. It don't make no money.
It ain't making no money, Mike?
Yeah, it don't make you no money. Well, even in the bank, it don't make you no money. You know what I'm saying? 4% cap, that's the return on ROI. Even in the bank, and having your money in this, and at this point, your money on the protected up to $250,000. So I'm looking at that right there. Like, if I leave my money in the bank, it's going to give me probably 1% higher yield, 4% the highest because Apple. But that's the highest yield you're going to get a return on your money. But if it's just sitting, it don't make you no money. The bank is making money daily because they charge interest rates daily. The interest is accrued daily. So just a little trick. If you paid off something daily, the interest is, that's why if you pay a mortgage payment 4 times a month, your mortgage payment is get cut down for 10 years. If you pay it twice a month, it's cut down 6 years. Because interest accrues daily. That's how banks make their money. So if your money's sitting in the account, they make money off of your money like that daily. So it's just understanding. It's how you're thinking.
Yeah. That's good to know right there, man. Because, you know, all we was taught, man, put your money in the bank, man. Let your money sit, man. You can live off your interest. A lot of people don't even know about all that, man. Like,
well, the
that's
interest
why we
ain't
hear,
much.
Mike, put your money in the bank, man. Live off the interest and all that.
Well, the interest ain't much.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's only becomes great interest unless you have a bulk of money in there. Like, you got to have millions in there just to recruit good interest, and then you got to negotiate with the bank. Like, hey, you got to negotiate them interests. But if you got a little bit of money, they ain't giving you much. Anything below $1 million to them is low.
So, Mike, when you was in school, man, was you good in math? Was you a math student? I mean, I'm saying, did you make good grades?
Yeah. I actually, again, I resource economics.
Yeah.
So, you know, studying the economy, you know, most definitely math, a lot of math.
Well, I'm saying it because a lot of young blacks in the hood, they got brains. They are smart, but a lot of them don't utilize it.
Yeah.
See, you utilizing yours. I mean,
Man.
you talking about this stuff, Mike, like we talking about football. Mike over here chilling, man, hand, legs crossed, man, just chilling, man. And that's good to see, man.
Truthfully, the street pharmacist is one of the most, they have to know their numbers because at the end of the day, you know, a gram is different than an ounce. Ounce is different than, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like they don't know math. It's just how you utilize it for what you utilize it for because, you know, hey, a pound is different than an ounce. A nickel is different than a dime. A dime is different than a quarter. You know what I'm saying? So the numbers is really the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's street or whether it's in the corporate world, it's just how we're using it. You know what I'm saying? We want to use it on the street. That's what we use it for. I use it in business, so it's different.
Mike, what's one of the, in your opinion, What's one of the most important mindsets or attitudes you can take to cultivate? I mean, in order to be successful in business.
Man, it's the same mentality. As I say, it's correlation football. You miss a tackle, you got to get back up, right? You know, we play DB, so you got to have a short memory because you're gonna have failures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Boom. If I'm a barber and I mess around and go bad on that edge, I got to try to correct that as much as possible. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's being able to accept the failures because you're gonna have your success. I wasn't no big time developer 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I had people money and trapped into what I was doing, and you know, I took a less of a profit to make sure everybody was straight. But that was just me learning. Now all of a sudden my system is down. You know, all my prices are down. So now all of a sudden, now I'm blooming roses. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand the flower. You plant the flower, you have to understand you got to put water and the sun got to come to it. Now all of a sudden you're going to have things that you need ultimately. But you got to be able to understand failure before you have successes in business, because in any business, even in barber, you already know, you know, it ain't like it. Now it's easy for you because you understand it. But initially, you know, you had that process to go through. So everybody got to go through the process. Just understanding that.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality you have to understand, that you got to fail to succeed.
100%. 100%.
Y'all Gator boys, all right. Real, y'all Gator boys know more than football, boy.
Yeah, they got a good education.
Gator boys, baby. Gator boys.
Hey. Well, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to go talk about the other schools. I'm not going to do that. Not today. Mike, man, you also, man, talk about, I asked you earlier, did you have a mentor, right? But, you know, I see you on IG Live, and I see that, you know, you promote other minorities, or I don't want to say minorities. The people that I've saw have been minorities, but you promote other people that are doing great things in the business that you're in. What's the importance of doing that? Man,
again, this is the importance of having the information. We like the information. Like, you get on my IG Live, you have the, you know, the good thing about nowadays, you have all of this stuff. You have the information in front of you. I ain't have the information in front of me. Right. My dad and them was workers. Your dad was workers. Yeah. They didn't have information in front of them. So the biggest thing for me now is say, okay, I got the information. I got to play. Now, if I got to play, I can show you how to go out and get this money. Or I can show you a different way to go get money. Hey, let's make it happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you talked about, you know, the August 4th through August 5th, the you know, that's when you're having your class. But I think that class is called the Playbook, right?
Yeah, it's the MDH Playbook.
Ooh, the Playbook.
Yeah.
You know,
where you holding class? In Gainesville?
It's in Orlando. I'm from Gainesville, but I lived in Orlando for over 20-something years. But yeah, the MDH Playbook, man, is just learning real estate development and learning how the hidden secrets of, you know, I mean, just like you said, hey, I want to be a realtor.
Yep.
No, I want to be developer on making money. So you got to understand, like, if it's one street, and just think about it, it's one street. And I put this in my son's head. It's kind of crazy. So we counted on our street. You know what I'm saying? We lived in a prominent neighborhood over there in Orlando. It was 50 houses on one side, 50 on the other. And I told him that they did $125,000 per profit. You're looking at 50. You're looking at 5, 10, 6, 7 million on one side and 7 million on the other side. And that's just one street. So that's just one street.
One street.
Yeah.
Real, one street, real.
So
it's more than one street in the neighborhood. Man.
Yeah.
Mike, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
At this point, you so engulfed in that, right? Mm-hmm. When you go down or you see property, do you see the pretty pink house or do you see $125,000?
Ah, man, you know what? They sell ugly houses. I sell ugly houses. I mean, you have to see the potential in certain things. Like, I'm even not where I want to be at when I'm looking at this thing, because I take a Bradenton. Like, the hoods used to be the downtown areas. Mm-hmm. And, of course, what y'all seeing gentrification of these places, right? So now all of a sudden I can go downtown and see a property that's $100,000, maybe $200,000 piece of land, and say, now I can put a $400,000 structure on that. I'm in it for $600,000. I probably get 1.2 million out of that. So just understanding that perspective now is different than what I see. Like it's gold, it's like it's money gold. Like you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's just different. It's just a different mind frame of thinking.
It's totally a different mind frame.
And that's
You
what
know
it
what I'm
is.
saying?
And I think we are afraid to take chances like that though. You know, we're afraid to go get a loan to build a property up.
Yeah.
Instead, we're afraid just to go get a loan
Right.
because we're thinking about, man, I got to pay this loan back.
Right.
You know?
And that's a good point. But that's one of that's one of the real reasons why I wanted Mike on here, because I mean, you get $100,000 loan, do right by the money.
Yeah, you gotta do right by the
Pay
money.
that back and get your own money, right?
Yeah. money.
Of course. You can. I mean,
We be afraid though, Mike. We afraid, man.
oh man, I mean, it's intimidating. It is intimidating because I mean, I'm looking at the market. So I'm looking at the market. I know this market is 1.2 million in downtown Bradenton, downtown Sarasota, Orlando. I mean, I just demoed some properties. I do demo too. Sorry. So
Man, boy, Mike do everything, boy. Mike,
yeah.
You got your own shoe?
nah, not yet, man.
You get your own shoe, Mike?
Ideally, man, you know what I'm saying? We could get us some shoes eventually, you know what I'm saying? I left that for Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Mike do
you
it
gotta
all,
be
man.
you gotta be a high profile person. But so I demoed a property in St. Petersburg, and then I just saw the neighborhood. It's one of my little mentees. He came to one of my courses, and just amazing because you remember I had mentioned earlier before, like we have the land, we have the properties. So he inherited the property, and so he didn't know what to do with it. So I told him, I said, we're gonna demo it. We're gonna make it look like the house across the street was selling for $780,000. He ain't even paying nothing for the land. All he paying for is my demo, because he already acquired the land from inheritance. And I'm like, brother, don't sell the land. We're gonna put a $300,000 house on this, just sell it for about $800,000. So you know what I'm saying. So just understand that it's a $400,000 play for the next year or two for him. So the $400,000 injected in somebody's economy is good, you know.
Man, you can inject that in my bank
Man,
real quick. It's really good for me. I ain't gonna lie to you, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's
The
good,
playbook,
boy.
baby. The MDH playbook. Huh?
Yeah.
So how they follow you on IG? See, look, man. See, I mean, literally, when it come down to all this social media stuff, man.
Yeah.
I be telling the real. He got to educate me on this stuff, man.
Man, it's MDH Investors. It's MDH Investors. You know, Mary, David, Harry Investors. You know, y'all can follow me. You know, and then I give a lot of helpful information out there. But I'm just having my class on the 4th and the 5th. You know, I'm just to kind of pick my brain. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, we're going to do a tag-along the next day. So we'll go out to some of the properties that we develop in. It's going to be quite interesting. I mean, I'm just trying to open up the knowledge barrier that we, you know, we just inferior with knowledge. So now all of a sudden, if you can get the information, because having access to the information is the biggest thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you say college is for, education.
Education, baby.
So, you know, out here in the real world, hey, how can I make money? You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest key. You know, and you just have to know what sectors you can do. Like, everything correlates with each other. Dumpsters, rental properties, developing, all of it is in real estate.
Right.
Demoing is all in real estate. Like our lawn care, it's all in the real estate. So it's just like creating this one business and creating 5 little prongs up under it.
But see, a lot of us don't have good credit, man. So we can't even go to no bank.
Yeah, I mean,
Ask for no loan.
a lot of us don't think we got good credit, or we don't know that we got good credit. Good credit is easy to obtain. You got to understand. I get a $300 credit card, and I run I hate when people say play. I do business good for 4 or 5 months. I got my daughter a credit card. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to get good credit. She got a Discover card. She put $20 or $30 or $40. Some months she put $100. Pay it off, right? In less than a year, she got a 780 credit score. Now she came from nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was just a Discover card. Now Discover giving her all the credit, but what we don't have is discipline.
There you go.
We don't have credit discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can have good credit. We don't have credit discipline. Like even in the sector of business I'm doing right now, I gotta have financial discipline. Because guess what? If I make $100,000, I made $100,000. That's no problem. You know what I'm saying? I still live off of my other avenues or streams of income, but I'm taking $100,000 and reinvesting into another property. That's what you call financial discipline. You know what I'm saying? So what happens to us if we don't have financial discipline? Who are the most spending people in the world? It's minorities.
All day.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta have them Jordans. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But they're
I'm trying
expensive.
to tell you, boy. See, I'm not a gambler, real.
Yeah.
But I'd rather gamble the way Mike gamble than go to the casino, Hard Rock, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That boy be gambling $400, $500, $1,000, man. I put that money toward what Mike doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I take that type of chance. Why,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's in dirt, it don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can have a hurricane tomorrow and the land don't go nowhere. The structures might go somewhere.
The land gonna be there.
Yeah, the land gonna be there. And if the structures go somewhere, we still got a bobcat and dump trucks to go and get the money. So
What you call it? Gold? What you call it, Mike?
yeah, man, it's a dirt gold.
Dirt gold,
You know what I'm
baby.
saying? You know, the dump trucks come, and the dirt is gold. You know what I'm saying?
Dirt gold,
This is what it
baby.
is.
I love it, Mike, man. Listen, man, it's been a pleasure, man. I think tonight we got what we wanted to achieve. I think we did that, man.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, man. But before we go, Mike, I got one more thing for you.
Go ahead.
Nigga, Mike.
Do we
Mike,
D? All right. So
I don't know what's going on. Real
so-
big,
yeah.
Mike looking
I
scared, man.
didn't tell Mike this.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, I get a shirt. Okay.
I have to get that shirt to you later.
Yeah.
But before you
Print,
get that shirt, we go
print
get you something.
fanatics.
Hey, Mike, man. We have this thing. You played Truth or Dare before, right?
Yeah.
In Young Hall, you probably played Truth or Dare in Young Hall.
Man, we play a lot of things.
Well, Mike, we got this game, man. It's a little similar to the Truth and Dare. The only thing is we're not going to actually do any dare, right?
Yeah.
But we is going to ask you to just tell us the truth.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So we gonna give you a card. I don't know what's on the card, right?
Yeah.
You're
All right.
gonna
Pick
pick a
one.
card.
Mike
You're gonna
gotta
read
pick
that
one.
card out
Okay.
loud, man. I don't know what it could
Man.
be. It could be a little bit of anything. But just read that out loud, man, and just answer the question.
All right. Well, it says, what is the secret you had as a child that you never told your parents? Woo, man.
Ooh, Mike.
Man. Wow. Man.
Now, Mike, you don't have to answer it now, Mike.
No, yeah,
I'm
you
from
do.
the hood.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably get in the car. You know, we do things, get in the car, creating a baby or something like that, you know. But
Wait, did you say create a baby?
yeah, down the street, probably. You know what I'm saying? But it's it's been entertaining, man. Hey, we have the same all secrets, right? Yeah. Everybody probably got the same secret.
Yeah.
We just ain't want to tell nobody.
Mike gonna throw it on us.
Yeah.
That's on you, big
Boy,
dog.
that's like a brother from the
Yeah,
hood, boy.
yeah.
They throw the stuff on us, man.
That's true. That's true. You gotta think now. You know, Ice Cube was going out there doing what he was doing, and the athlete had the baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know he was doing things he wasn't supposed to do.
boy,
But that's
absolutely.
probably the secret. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Hey, you said keep it true, right? Yeah.
Well, it is truth be told,
Mike
Mike.
gonna throw it on us, boy.
Yeah.
He threw it quick, too, boy.
Yeah,
Just like
you
a
know,
joker, boy.
I got to throw the ball back to you.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying?
Hey, boy.
Hey,
That's
Green,
good,
man.
boy.
Hey, Green, man. You know you do your thing every show, man. You got anything to say to this guy, man?
Hey, man, Mike, man, look, Mike, man, I'm just meeting you. I
Yeah.
know, like I say, man, you know my brother Big Green.
Yeah,
Y'all
that's
Florida
true.
Gator boys, man.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
every time, you know, somebody come on our show, man, that educate the neighborhood, educate the community, I like to give flowers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give my flowers to you, Mike. You know,
Oh man, thank you.
and man, some good information tonight, man.
Oh man, yeah.
And Mike, you know your stuff too, Mike. Well, Mike laid back talking about them numbers, man. Like, man, Mike just chilling, man. Like in the backyard for real,
Yeah.
for real, Mike, man. But yeah, Mike, appreciate you coming, man.
Yeah, man, it's a
And
pleasure.
my flowers go to you, man. Keep up the good work, man. Keep grinding, keep educating.
Yeah.
And you educating me, man. I might want to take some chances, man, with this money, man. I don't know, man.
It sound good, baby.
What sound good? I gotta talk to
man.
Mike though, man.
Hey, listen, I keep trying to nudge over there. I was trying to
Whoa.
listen. You know me, boy. I'm trying to get everything I can get.
Yes, sir, boy.
And I need that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, boy.
Yeah.
But man, thank you so much, Mike. Man, definitely appreciate you, man. I do want to give a shout out, Green.
You give a shout out?
Yeah, I do. I want to, and you know, I want to give a shout out to the so-called dumb jock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the stigma is real. People always think, man, that we can't do anything outside of sports. But today is just another testament of, yeah, we could play the game, right? We could play the game, and we learn a lot from that game.
Of course.
And I see a lot of athletes take those things they learn from those sports, translate that to the business world, and be successful.
Of course. Yeah.
So, man, big shout out to you, Mike, man, for being that so-called dumb jock, right? And making things happen,
Yes,
man.
sir, boy.
Making things happen, man, and
Yes, sir.
becoming the person that you are. Man, I don't know too many people my age that are what I could say is a developer, man, a minority developer. So
I
that's
don't know at all.
huge, man. And I just that's huge. And hey, bro, I give you all the praise, man. I'm looking at what you got going on, paying attention to your IG, man. I'm calling you when I can, just to pick your brain. So thank you for coming on Truth Be Told,
Yes,
man,
sir,
sharing
Mike.
that
Yes,
with
sir,
us.
baby. Yes, sir.
I know Green, you know, this whole truth thing, you know.
Well, you know what I say, boy.
What's that?
Tell you what I say, Mike. Everybody can talk, but everybody don't tell the truth, baby.
There it is.
Everybody don't tell the
We
truth.
got a lot of those, Mike. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful
Everybody
with the
don't
boys
tell the
out there,
truth.
man.
Yes,
That
sir,
is
boy.
true.
Careful,
That's true.
man.
Yes,
That's
sir,
true.
boy.
So listen, man, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Truth Be Told, man. We'll be back next week on Monday, 6:30 sharp, man. Hey, also, man, y'all like what we got going on?
Man, look,
y'all let
man.
us know if y'all want us to build
Y'all
this
see,
this
man.
shop, man. We
Man, y'all
think about
see,
building
man.
this
Hey,
shop.
boy.
Hey, James Lee, we think about building this shop, so
Yes,
we're gonna need
sir,
some more
baby.
products, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Truth be
Hats,
told,
banners.
apparel, baby.
Yeah, we got it all.
Man, you can wear the hat like this. You can throw it to the side. You throw it back like that.
Yeah.
Teach me how to wear hair like this.
I like
Oh,
it,
man.
T-Free. I
Yes,
like
sir,
how it look, baby. Look good on you,
Yeah.
baby.
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
baby.
Hey, man, that's Truth Be Told, man. We out, man. We'll see you guys next week. Appreciate you, love you. We out.
Yes, sir, baby.
Let's go. Woo.